So it's interesting that I see on 4chan a lot and other places about how the states want us to see some of them. They're writing petitions. It's even on the news now, so it's pretty legitimate. And I think it has a lot to do with Obamacare, or rather the ignorance of Obamacare. And I'm going to explain to you all Obamacare because I think it's funny that Mark Anthony likes to spread this vicious rumor that I didn't go to school and yet he can't do basic math. Uh, you know, Let me get to the point. A lot of people think that Obamacare is going to suddenly get rid of all the doctors. That doctors are no longer going to want to do their job because of Obamacare. I even see people posting on 4chan and other places that are going, "Oh, well, I just got out of college to become a doctor, and I might as well just stop going to college because I'm not going to be able to get as much money." How? How does that work? You were getting money from the insurance companies first and foremost. In America, most doctors will have nothing to do with you unless they are 100% certain that you are insured. So, you were getting your money from the insurance company anyway. What's the difference between getting money from the insurance companies as prescribed by the people individually that pay for insurance as opposed to their employers paying for the insurance or the state if they're unemployed? What's the difference? You're getting your fucking money either way. Doesn't matter where your money comes from. There's nothing to suggest that you're somehow getting less money. You just might not be getting money from the same insurance company you were before, prior, but you're still getting your money. So where's the problem? Where is this socialism? I don't see it. I don't see where the mega socialism Godzilla is going to come and wreck the city. It's just not there. The entire point of Obamacare is that employers would have to cover people's individual insurance unless they choose to stay with their current insurance. And if unemployed, most likely the state would provide them with a state-funded insurance. Not to say that the state would be the insurance company, because that might be socialist, but that the state will basically pay your insurance for you of a private company. A voucher program. I hardly consider vouchers a socialist, enterprise, considering that even libertarians support vouchers. So that's pretty far to the right. So what the fuck's the problem with Obamacare? The problem here is that America is so far to the fucking right that you can't argue anything with them. They will find any excuse in the world to yell Marx, Hitler, socialism, communism. They don't even know what these fucking words mean, but they'll just say them anyway, and people fall for it. They buy right into it, and they're like, "Oh my God, socialism! Oh my God, Obama!" No, there's nothing socialist about this. Your life is not going to change. Doctors are not suddenly going to make a lot less money. Insurance companies are not going to fall because of it. Nothing's going to fucking change. All it means is that the more poorer classes might not have to pay so much in order to sustain their everyday mundane lives, and on top of it pay for fucking insurance. That's all it really means, is cheaper insurance. You could argue that the insurance companies might lose money because of it, but even that would be incorrect, because it's not like the insurance companies are forced to pay for you. What it just means is that the employer that you work under has to pay for your insurance by proxy. Somebody else is paying for the insurance, but the insurance companies are still making their money. The doctors are still making their money. Everybody's still making their fucking money. So there's been no change in the demographic. So then it becomes that employers are threatening to fire thousands of workers. There's that whole Papa John's controversy. Because, now they'll have to pay for people's insurance mandatory. And, well, why couldn't they do that? Is Papa John's struggling? Is Papa John's a mom and pop shop that can't afford to pay for their employees' insurance? Fuck no. Papa John's is a mega corporation. They can flip the bill. Deal with it. And, it's like Jon Stewart said on The Daily Show. They do that stupid 2 million free pizzas deal. I think people would rather have insurance than pizzas. So there you go. if, let's say, a large pizza costs $10 and you give away 2 million free pizzas, that's $20 million right there. $20 million you could be using to give people insurance as opposed to free pizza. Now I know most Americans are going to be like, well, fuck, I gotta lose my free pizza. Well, yeah. When it comes to insurance, so that it can save your life, or preventative measures so you don't lose a foot or something, or a free pizza, what are you going to fucking choose? And if you're stupid enough to choose a free pizza, then I'm sorry. You don't get to vote on this matter. You're a fucking idiot. So, that's really all it comes down to. It's just basic math, people. And it isn't even very good math at that. This is by no means a socialist legislation. This is by no means socialist economics. It's just different. It's just a different set of right-wing principles, but it's still very, very far to the right. And for America to not come to terms with that and be freaking the fuck out just shows how concentrated neoconservative they actually are. That's why the rest of the world mocks you. It's not the fact that they're jealous of you. It's not the fact that they even hate you. It's the fact that you're willing to literally shoot yourself in the foot. You would rather lose that foot than lose a fucking free pizza. You're fucking stupid. So, it's really all I have to say about Obamacare. And quite honestly, this whole threat of state secession quite amuses me. Because, a lot of the states that want to secede are not in a very good position to do so right now. I don't think Texas could survive on its own despite what it wants to believe. And New York just suffered a very traumatic loss because of nature, so I don't think they're in much of a position to be threatening secession either. I'm sure a couple of states could do just fine on their own, with terrorism, and if they were to actually try to build up businesses and things there to boost their economy, but that would require just a little teeny bit of socialism to give money back to the working class so that they could produce more, so that they could bring in more revenue, and so that they could compete on a national level against the rival nation of the old Union. That would be it. If you really wanted to secede, you're going to have to compromise and accept the fact that it's your workers that build up your community. It is your workers that define the value of your state, of your product, and the labor therein. But you're not willing to admit that, America. You're not willing to admit that it is your workers that give intrinsic value to everything. And because of that, you're not in a position to secede, and you never will be. So, that's just what I wanted to say here. Obamacare is not left-wing. The state secession will not happen. If the state secession does happen, I will be surprised. I will neither be for it or against it. I would just be like, well, that's unusual. But I don't expect it to go anywhere even if it does happen. They will just be really, really fucking poor, and capitalist enterprises will exploit those stupid states even more so than they do now. That's what I expect to happen. So, I guess that's it.